Hello, my name is Jaret Martino, and my mother is a survivor of domestic violence. I wrote, produced, and directed a narrative feature film surrounding my mother Donna's heroic story of survival, titled Donna, Stronger Than Pretty. I've always had such a strong sense as to what my purpose here on earth was. I know I chose my mom, as I've been very connected and protective of her my entire life. I always saw her strength. However, it would take a little time for her to realize her own power and ultimately freedom.
Home should mean that it's a safe haven for yourself and your children. Ours was a broken home. Was he going to hit me? Was he going to be yelling, screaming? Being in that situation when the kids were young, I knew that that wasn't supposed to be the way it felt being at home, but that's the way it was.
What would you say to your daughter about what you went through and advice that you would have for her?
Not letting anyone or anything get in her way, and to believe in herself.
Too many people live their lives frozen in the fears of trauma. Shame is all too powerful, and our society uses this as a tool to keep others down. The most important thing is for human beings to feel heard and truly know we're connected. I didn't want to create the stereotypical version and play into the drama of abuse. It was more important for me that this film was created truthfully and honored exactly how my mother went from victim to survivor. It's a film that sheds light on the all too common conditioning of women. My favorite line from the film is, "Women have to be stronger than pretty. You look like a warrior to me." The retreat does invaluable work for family safety and healing. We can all now relate to what fear and isolation can do to a person. Please help support this important work and help bring freedom into people's lives. We can't do this work without you.
I have to know your name.
It's Donna.
Donna, it's never too late to dream. You know what? Sometimes you can be a really ungrateful. Let go of me.
I feel stuck.
What do you mean?
I never know what mood he's gonna be in.
How you gonna raise 3 kids with no job, no money, and no husband? Watch me. Don't stop fighting for your kids. Or for yourself. Women gotta be stronger than pretty. You look like a warrior to me.
This film dedicated to my loving mother, Donna, whose bravery, sacrifice, smile, and heart have shaped the man I am today, was realized to be used as a tool to inspire and empower other families to try to break free of negative conditioning, stereotypes, patterns, and cycles. It honors the strength of women all over the world, and hopefully it will also encourage men to acknowledge and share their emotions with the women and children who love them. May we unite in solidarity and collective spirit to spread love in the face of adversity, and to shift to a global consciousness that propels movement towards helping undo thousands of years of damage. It is also dedicated in loving memory to all the beautiful souls who have lost their lives due to domestic violence. Sign up for our mailing list to keep updated on our release date and all the latest. Thank you so much. And happy 25th anniversary to the retreat. The ripple effect of your work is so powerful, and I'm honored to be a part of that.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Mariska Hargitay, and for more than 20 years, I've been an advocate for victims of abuse. And like the retreat, I believe in amplifying voices that are too often made silent.
I'm Ali Wentworth, and thank you for joining us tonight for All Against Abuse, a virtual benefit for the retreat. COVID-19 has changed all of our lives, and for many it has brought tragedy, and for the most vulnerable in our community, it has brought a particular kind of devastation. For those living in abusive households, lockdown is their worst nightmare.
The experience of domestic and intimate partner violence can be extremely isolating. Some might even say that these acts cannot exist without isolation, that perpetrators depend on it. That means that isolation is not only a result of abuse, but it's also a condition that fosters it.
Victims are more vulnerable, and they have less opportunity to break the silence that so often surrounds these terrible crimes.
And what remains hidden cannot be addressed.
The necessary distancing required with COVID-19 has become another weapon in an abuser's arsenal.
I wish that more survivors knew that they are not alone. That's the most important thing for people to know. You are not alone.
And for more questions, please call the retreat at 631-329-2200 or visit allagainstabuse.org.
Healing from trauma is possible. With support and intervention, there are options. And thanks to the retreat and its commitment to provide critical services for people experiencing violence, there is hope. It's not just a safe space with supportive services, it's the beginning of a life free from violence and free from abuse.
And because we imagine a world without interpersonal violence, the retreat works with local schools providing information about consent and healthy relationships. Starting in grades 3 through 12, and then on college campuses, the retreat is there working to end the cycle of violence.
So tonight, we are asking you to support the retreat so they can continue to provide essential programs at no cost to people reaching out for help.
Support their work, support the retreat. Donate now at allagainstabuse.org or by texting STOP ABUSE to 41444. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I'm Leslie Morgan Steiner, and I'm the author of Crazy Love and a TED Talk on why victims of domestic violence stay. And I'm delighted to join you in support of the retreat and All Against Abuse. So many of us think that domestic violence doesn't happen to people like us, but I'm here to tell you that it does. When I was 22, I met and married a Wall Street trader who, within months of our wedding, was holding loaded guns to my head. It took me 4 years to leave him. And when I did, my own father was so ashamed that he wouldn't go to court with me, despite the fact that he was a Harvard-educated lawyer. So I went alone. And fortunately, a domestic violence advocate was there and helped me get a restraining order and gave me advice about how to rebuild my life. So when we give to the retreat, that's what we're doing. We're giving love and support and compassion and understanding to people who need it the most at one of the worst times in their life. And I'm delighted and not ashamed that tonight I proudly say that I'm a victim too, and that I wouldn't be here without an agency like the retreat that helped me when I needed it. Thank you all.
Hi, this is Don Lemon, the anchor of CNN Tonight, of course, on CNN. I am a proud supporter of the retreat and the All Against Abuse Gala. And even more so in this time of COVID, I think it's especially important that we create a space and a place for children and adults to be free from abuse and violence.
The pandemic has affected us all. The lack of freedom, feelings of isolation and frustration, and getting basic supplies is challenging on the best days. For most of us, this situation is temporary. But for people who are living in abusive households, this is their everyday life. The retreat has been helping families affected by violence for more than 3 decades. They offer services for both adults and children, including emergency shelter, counseling, legal support, and violence prevention and education programs for children. All the retreat's programs are free. Please support the work of the retreat, or reach out if you or someone you know needs help. Visit allagainstabuse.org or text STOP ABUSE to 41444. Please join the retreat for All Against Abuse, a virtual gala helping raise funds to provide free services for families on the East End. All Against Abuse is a message of hope because we know with the right help, and resources, anyone can break free from abuse. Thank you.